Hello, my dear Leos. This is your love and spirituality reading for the month of October 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are entering into Libra season, so remember to wish all Libras out there happy birthday. And I read for the signs in the order of most liked videos. So don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for your sign. You can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel. Thank you all for liking, watching, commenting, donating, and subscribing to my channel. I am so grateful for all of your appreciation. This reading can go both ways, so if I tell you that you are feeling or acting in a certain way, it can be in the reverse, that the person you are dealing with is feeling and acting in that way. The energy is the same, it's just different castings to the different roles by the universe. And the message is for the people who watch it, so if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the main person in the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. For this reading, I will use the Druid Craft Tarot by Philip and Stephanie Cargom, illustrated by Will Worthington, and I will start shuffling your cards. So, when I open your deck here, dear Leos, I see the Four of Cups and the Sun. So it's very different energies. Four of Cups is a little bit of a dull energy. A person maybe that is bored with their life or their existence and can't really take the opportunities that's given. Just looking on what they don't have here. And the Sun card is of course a person that take every opportunity to spread their wings and doing their thing. So it might be that you're oscillating between those two stages, Leo. One day you find yourself totally bored and you can't be enthusiastic of anything, and the next day you are full of life and full of energy. This might also be, of course, different energies, and it seems like those different energies is kind of looking in different directions, so they are not intimate, they are not communicating. So this might be you and another person, possibly a water sign or someone else that has not ability right now to be in the same place that where you are, because here it's light and bright and shiny and happy, and in this position it's not so happy. It's more about digesting maybe old pain, going through things. It's a 4, so it's connected to the divine masculine. So it might be some people that has a very masculine approach to life might have a hard time acknowledging and digesting their feelings, and therefore there's a little bit of a block here. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light. And here we have the 10 of Cups with the Sun card. So this feels like all the same energy. 10 of Cups is the highest card for love in the minor arcana, and the 19, the Sun, is the highest card for love in the major arcana. So even if you feel like you are not completely on the same wavelength with your family, friends, partners, co-workers, and etc., it doesn't say that there's not love there, okay? It seems like there's the highest form of love available to you, Leos, and it's the rainbow there showing hope. And this can be you also enjoying the time of your life or fulfilling of a dream, or it might be also planning a wedding. This is the it's the holy matrimony between whole people that have reached a certain level of finding themselves, we can say, or enlightenment. And 10 of Cups is a very creative card, so it can be about doing your dream job or doing something with your hands, or that comes from your heart. So it's very beautiful. It seems like bliss and happiness all over. So if you sometimes feel yourself in the 4 of Cups mood, try to see the reality. It might be that you are sulking about something that's not really a problem. Your life seems fine, okay? So in many aspects it's really lucky. So maybe you need to focus your energy on where your luck is, and start to become like, put yourself in the position of happiness by starting to be grateful for the beautiful things in your life that's there already. This is also opening up for more beautiful things in your life. Not that you need to be grateful, like when your mother, when you were small, said, be grateful for the food. There's people starving in Africa. She was totally valid with saying those things, but it might have made you feel like you should be more happy, you should be more glad, you should be more grateful. And this is not what I'm speaking of here, that you are better off than other people and should be grateful for that. I'm trying to help you to find a way to actually connect with your own happiness by feeling gratitude for the small beautiful things in your life. Maybe a flower in your garden, a beautiful smell inside your house when you have cleaned it, taste of something that's good, or just warm feet, whatever is making your vibration connect with happiness instead of that sadness that we saw with the Four of Cups. Of course, we can't go around being happy, jolly all the time. If we are hurt, we are hurt, so we need to acknowledge the pain, but we also need to know when it's time to heighten the frequency towards happiness, so we don't forget we are staying in the valley all the time and forget to rise up with the wavelengths of happiness. So life is like this, and we need to be able to ride this wave. Sometimes we are sad, sometimes we are happy, but when we have so much to be happy for, it's sometimes it can be easy to forget how lucky we are and forget to ride the wave of happiness, and therefore the life becomes a little bit more gray and dull. But for most of you, I think that you have a nice time, Leo. It seems very happy, and it might have been self-love that I put this foundation here. So I called the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and here we have a Prince of Pentacles. So Prince of Pentacles is a little bit more reminding me of the 4 of Cups energy, like a person that's hiding here behind their shield. In this other card, they were just hanging around being bored, but here at least they have attention on something in front of them. It's just that they are still shy or still in hiding. So it might be that you are dealing with either water or earth person, or maybe a person with both water and earth in their chart. Doesn't have to be sun sign, but they can have earth and water in their chart. Or it might be you. This might be parts of you. Maybe you have a dream, a big dream, but you are shy or reluctant to steer your ship in that direction because you don't know if you're going to be successful. So it might be fear of failure also that's being with this little bit dull energy here. I'm not saying that Prince of Pentacles is dull. It's Taurus is a very beautiful, loyal energy, but it can be a little bit careful. Okay, they don't want to jump into conclusion or put in a lot of money in a project that later on won't be successful. So it's an energy that's a little bit thoughtful and careful and plan thoroughly, and here it seems like it might be an unnecessary hesitation because you had both the Sun and the 10 of Cups, and the Sun is 19, 1 plus 9, 10, 10, 1 plus 0, 1, Magician. So it seems like you are supposed to put like a big ship into the water and sail towards your dreams, and you think, well, should I or shouldn't I? So it's a little bit like hesitation. But again, it can be two different energies. Maybe there's a possibility of really rewards for you and a group of people, or you and another person. But one person in this mix, either you or someone else, is being a little bit reluctant. So I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Leo viewers. So I want my dear Leos to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Your highest path, not part, towards your highest destiny. Okay. So my dear Leos, it's shuffled. So I'll just tune in now to you and the energy of October for a few seconds here. So my dear Leos, I'm actually hearing a song in my head now when I'm tuning into your energy, and it's probably because of the words I just said to you when I shuffled the cards, and it's this song, I Have the Time of My Life. It's from a movie, Dirty Dancing, so I don't know right now this singer or the group, but I will put it in the description box for you, most likely. Okay. So this is your future there, and this is your now, and this is your past. So in the past here you have the Ferret. So it's the same that came also in this position for Sagittarius that was I was doing before you. And the Ferret is the Alchemist card. So it's the second highest card for love in the major arcana. First we have the Lovers, then we have the Ferret, and then we have the Sun card. So the Ferret is about attraction, like two different polarities is attracted by each other to make something that hasn't been seen before, like a third entity. You and a person coming together, creating your relationship. That is a new idea, like two ideas merging to a totally new idea or a totally new vision. So something is about to be created here, but it's coming from this place of dualities where there can be quite a lot of resistance or like this we don't see eye to eye, so we are rubbing off against each other, making a mess a little bit. So your demons, your wounds playing so well together, and it's the rainbow there again. So something lucky is about to happen to you, Leo, but it might be that you need to go through a lot of trial by fire. Just because it burns doesn't mean you are going to die. Okay, so fire energy being very good for your evolution. When we go through difficulties that might be very painful, it's like a fire's energy in this challenge that is going to make you evolve. It's like evolution happening here right before our eyes, and this is what I'm seeing in the past. So it might be that your dream was ignited in the past, but there's a lot of challenges to reach there, or you might have found someone that you're very attracted to, or some dream also that's very, very attractive. Okay, and this is in now, and we have a Prince of Swords here. So Prince of Swords is usually Gemini, but it might be Libra or Aquarius as well. And Prince of Swords is a little bit a kind of sticky energy, because Gemini is they have very rapid thoughts. Okay, they're thinking, they can see things from 10,000 different directions in the same time. So it's like tick, 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 tick. And the Prince of Swords is a very young energy in this case, and he feels like he's entitled or he's right, that he can think things through, and he trusts his mind a lot. So these two together would be like a rather sassy scientist that's thinking that they are onto something really life-changing or life-altering, that can change the life for themselves or human beings in general, or for you, or for the relationship, or whatever. And it's a little bit like a know-it-all energy, so they can have a hard time to taking in other people's point of view. I'm not saying that this is Gemini, I'm just saying what I'm reading from this energy here. So it's not saying that this person is mean or cruel in any way, or it's just that they trust their mind so much, and what they can see and what they can touch and what they can with their logic reason out. So they might have a little bit hard time to take to deal with this attraction energy, because it's not rational. So how to deal with if you are in love with someone and your rational mind says this is not a good idea, okay, this is not the best for me in my life to be in love with that person, and still I'm attracted to them. So it can make like a person a little bit mad with these two energies. It's like not going together. I love them, but they are not good for me. So it feels like, oh, I feel like I'm stupid because of this here. So there's something going on where life wants to lead you somewhere, and maybe you don't trust them fully. You don't trust love and life fully. Or this person here might be a person on the outside of you, doesn't trust this fully. It's what I'm feeling here. But they're still very smart, and it's like the scientist energy in both these cards, so they can figure it out. So that's where our hope can lie, that it's possible to figure this out. So if you are in a pickle where you feel like, well, I want to do this dream, but it's not rational because I won't earn as much money that I would do on this other dream that my parents, for example, had for me. If I'm a doctor, that's going to pay better than me becoming like a backpacker, for example. So the dream can be very exhilarating and calling to you, but you feel like it's a dumb move. And to not follow that calling can actually, it makes this energy feel a little bit cold, like a person that doesn't follow the word of their own heart, their own soul, and the divine. It's like they're becoming a machine, if you can feel me, okay? So this is the future, and we have a Five of Cups. Five of Cups is disappointment. So it can be one person being disappointed on the other person because they don't want to open their heart to this great idea. Or it can be someone coming in with, of course, we can see this is a scene where a person is being attacked. So it might be that you will be attacked, Leo, by someone that comes with hurtful words. But don't fret and don't be worried, because we have the Alchemist card on top saying that this is necessary. Not that they hurt you, but that you have this experience, because whatever will come out of it will make you probably happier, stronger, more wise, a lot of different things. So it might be that sometimes often we need to meet challenging people saying challenging things. It might be the truth, but it might be said in a way that will be hurtful. So it's very fertile. People that's not rubbing us the right way, but actually being like adversaries in our lives, they can be very challenging, but also they make us grow. So something is going to happen here. I feel like it's a fertilizing moment, but you might take it as an insult, or you might even feel very righteous right now and go and insult someone else or hurt their feelings, because maybe you don't want to go with love. Maybe you have a more rational way of seeing things, and love is not the answer in your world. So it can go both ways. It doesn't have to be like another person being a little bit cold-hearted and say, no, I can't love you because it would be stupid and you will be hurt. It might be you doing someone like this, or not wanting to fulfill a dream. It might also be that you are about to fulfill a dream, but will end up disappointed for some reason. We'll see where it goes. Okay, so this is in your past. Also Sagittarius had Five of Cups, but they had it here. So it's something, it's not like you are being target. It's something with the astrology of it all that will make you have to look at things that makes you disappointed and figure out what to do with that. So here we have the Princess of Swords, and she comes in the past. So someone has said the truth here, like a fertilizing moment where truth came out. And it feels very liberating, but it might still have been like a little bit young and reckless. Maybe we'd said something or did something that made another person sad, like the truth can hurt a lot. It sets you free, like this swallow here, but it might also hurt a lot to know the truth about the situation. But here the Princess of Swords says, speak the truth even if your voice shakes. So here we have said the truth regardless of the consequences, because like a scientist with the alchemist card, it's the temperance card. In this it's called, see here, the ferret. So this is about knowing and sharing this knowledge with other people so they can also know. So it's very liberating to tell someone, this is how I feel, or this is the vision I see, or this is what I want, and then compare it to what this other person sees, feel, and want. Maybe it's not at all the same thing, and we are so scared for this clash between people and the difference in what they want. So we try to hide things that we think will be disturbant for other people. So we might want, if we are together with someone, we might keep our head low with that we, for example, want to move abroad at some point in our lives. So we don't want to make them scared and feel like we are going to leave them. Or we might hold in ideas of wanting to change job, or or maybe even commit and marriage. Sometimes we feel like the other person isn't ready, so we won't bring up the big question. But here things comes out regardless. Some kind of truth have been revealed here. Someone needed to say the truth, and the truth came. And here we have the Eight of Pentacles. So when we know the truth, it's much easier to do the work. Okay, if we know what we are working with. If we don't know, if we are like lost in fog because we don't have the correct information, we will make mistakes with our work. Regardless of the work is at work or maybe in your relationships. The Eight of Pentacles is a very beautiful card about this beautiful willingness to do the work, like with the Taurus energy that we saw, like having a plan and seeing it through, working relentlessly. The Taurus, this Knight of Pentacles card, is hesitating because it doesn't know if it has all the information to make a good job. But here all the information is in place so they can make a good job. So this is kind of the essence. If you are planning a relationship or building a house or educating yourself for a new job or whatever you are doing, you need to have a plan and know kind of what you are up to, what you are going to do. And to have clear communication in relationships is very helpful to be able to work together on a common target. If we have been able to decide what that common target is. But it seems like truth has triggered a willingness to do a good job, is what I'm seeing. Next card is the Prince of Pentacles energy, but when it comes in this order, Eight of Pentacles first, Prince of Pentacles after, it feels like the work takes to a halt. Okay, so someone might have said the truth and was expecting, okay, now this will help us work better together, but it actually made this Taurus energy instead choke and say, okay, now I'm real scared because now I know the truth. And I can't hide anymore from this truth and pretend like this person doesn't want to move abroad, or they doesn't want to marry, or they don't want to change jobs and might cause trouble to our economy. So here's this person is getting like more scared because of the information. And this was what probably you wanted to avoid all along. So maybe that's why you kept shut with this truth in the first place. But here it's out. So we can see what will be the reaction for this young earth energy, if they will run for the hills, which is seen kind of here, or maybe they will charge at you. But this might be you doing this as well, being like someone tells you the truth, I love you, for example, and they are expecting you to work together with them on this, collaborating, like you are the shadow to my light, or you are the other me. but totally different from me. And then you said, no, hell no. I don't want the same thing you want, and I'm not going to live your life, and you can't decide what my life is going to look. I don't want to move abroad. I don't want to build a house. I don't want to marry, or whatever it is. So this person is still shy and still reluctant to follow along with this idea that probably Leo have, but it can go in the reversed, so you know. So that was in the past. Something that was supposed to be liberating actually became like obstacle for someone, is what I'm seeing. And here we have a Two of Swords. Two of Swords comes underneath the Princess of Swords. So the truth has forced forward some kind of decision needs to be made. And with the Two of Swords, it's more this sweeping underneath the rug kind of energy. We don't want to make this darn decision because it's going to have consequences. So this is the shy energy, I would presume, that, okay, oh God, now I need to make a decision, I'm not ready. So with the Two of Swords, it's Libra also, the wave scales, like how can I balance this? Usually we want to just be nice. The Two of Swords card is about compromises. It's about like we don't say all the things that we mean because we don't want to upset someone or put too much pressure onto them or make them worried, or so we might not tell our parents exactly all the stupid things we do, and we might not tell, for example, if we fall in love with someone at our work, we don't immediately go home and tell our husband that, well, I fell in love with someone here. It's a problem. What can we do? So we keep this underneath the rug, and sometimes it's best off being kept there until we can make a better decision. But some people prefer to live their whole life keeping everything underneath the rug and never ever speak the truth, and that is making them very irreliable. You can't trust them. They say one thing, but they mean another thing, or they say one thing just to keep you calm and then run around doing something else. So I feel a mix of energies here. The big thing is that the shy person in this equation is scared of the truth. And it might be that you have been scared to tell them the truth, to not make them worry too much. But you might also be worried about dealing with a person like this, that has so hard time to make decisions or take responsibility. It's also hard. So, and we have the redness of this cloak here. It's showing the sacrifice that needs to be made, and she's also naked, so she's very vulnerable, and she has a blindfold on. So I'm thinking this person really tried to feel inside, oh God, what am I supposed to do in this situation? And it's like they are squeezed between a rock and a hard place. If they say, no, I don't want to build a house, I don't want to move to another country, I don't want to marry, this is going to put a wedge in between the two people, or maybe between you and people at work, if this is your boss wanting you to do something, or you have an idea and they don't want to follow on with it. So when the truth is out, when all the people's, like, what they want is out, you can't close your eyes anymore to the truth. A decision needs to be made, and it might be that this person will say, well, at some point I want to move abroad, and if you don't have the same longing, it might point to we not being able to be together. Maybe it's better I find someone that is more adventurous and also wants to go on this journey together with me. And maybe we are not destined to be together then if we don't have the same idea. But remember that the Ferret was to make two people of very different caliber and background and everything come together, because two different energies will create a third energy, like something fertile. So it's not always we are attracted by the people that wants the exact same thing, and it doesn't say so much about your destiny. It just says something about needing to be coherent to other people's needs, and listen to them and listen to ourselves, and make have a conversation and maybe find a solution, instead of pretending like the big elephant isn't in the room, and one day it will crush everything inside of there. So we are just brushing in everything underneath the carpet to hold like status quo as long as possible. Okay, and the center card here is Ten of Pentacles. So it's really talking about jobs, for example. This is place of value. So where do you get your money from? Or who makes you feel safe? Do you have like a lifetime partner that you will want to live with forever? That's making you safe. Houses makes us safe. Family makes us safe. Tradition makes us safe. So this is the long-lasting values of a lifetime's that's up for discussion here. And people want to feel safe. They want to feel loved. They want to feel taken care of. They want to feel valuable, valued, respected, things like this. We can see sometimes also these kind of things can make a person feel obligated or too much, like I have too much responsibility now. I should never have married. Now I'm responsible for all these kids and this woman here, and it's hell. Okay, so it can be like this also. Or I have gotten to this position in my company where I have a lot of responsibility and it weighs on me. So there's always two sides of the thing, and people need to talk about what they see from their point of view, so it can be known and better decisions can be taken for the future. So for me, it seems like the thing like commitment is up on the table. Commitment, income is up on the table. Where should we live? This is up on the table. So a lot of, and also family, can I stand them, or are they like boring me or tormenting me to death? So it's a lot of these long-lasting values that's up on the table, and of course people can become a little bit scared. Okay. So next card is the Tower. So this is when all the stability, all the things I just talked about, is when they fall away. So for example, when we realize that we don't want the same thing. And for the Prince of Pentacles, this can be a disaster, because we can see on his face he's not the bravest person here. So he doesn't want to go outside his comfort zone. But what if his comfort zone has been bombarded by God's eye here and trashed into nothing? So there's only the foundation left and not the walls to keep yourself in anymore. So I'm thinking the divine wants to challenge you into stepping outside your comfort zone. So everyone has a comfort zone. For some people, it can be not wanting to commit because you don't know, you know what you have, your freedom, but you don't know what you're going to get. Something else like this, two people coming together, making a third entity. That's the relationship. So that this can be very, very scary. But other things can be scary too. For example, you love someone and they are not the right one for you because, yeah, they don't want to live abroad and you want to live abroad, and you will have to leave this person, and eventually you will have to find a new one because you don't want to live alone all your life. But if we are a little bit like this, homey, we want to have what's familiar. So even if it's better wives out there, better husbands, better girlfriends, boyfriends, better jobs, we are a little bit reluctant to move on, even if that's for our best from a divine point of view. So for some of you, it might be that you're holding on to a lover that doesn't suit you at all, and you kind of need to move on, but you don't want to. You want what's familiar, even if what's familiar maybe doesn't want you. It can be in this way as well. So, but it might be that something will come true. What I'm feeling here is like an angry person that's angry on you, probably. This might be you being this angry person as well. Someone is angry with you for not letting things be. Okay, for just not letting things be as they were, because as they were, it was good. Okay, it was nice, and you could feel safe. But now you don't feel safe, and things are like rattling here, and there's an earthquake, and they are going to blame you for it. And it might come like a flash out from the sky, that like a message from someone that's really upset with you because they think you have destroyed something for them. Actually, I think you did them a favor for what I'm seeing here with the Prince of Swords, and this what wants to come here. I don't know exactly because I haven't seen the last card just yet, but it looks positive. But if we poke the bear, okay, don't poke the bear. Someone says don't poke the bear, but here's the bear is being poked. If you poke the bear, it might come out, you know, all grumpy, just awaken, because it was supposed to stay in comfort zone all like the rest of their lives. But you poke them, you poke them, you poke them, and eventually they will come out and they will be pissed off. Okay, so what you do when you have poked the bear. So this is why people doesn't tell the truth. They don't want to poke that bear, but this has happened here. And now we'll see what will be the consequences. We can see a little bit of it here, that the quiet has been disturbed. Okay. And this is the future. So someone is very much holding on to this comfort zone. So even if you have poked the bear, they might still be like they're not reacting on this. Here's the poking being done by the Princess of Swords. And the Two of Swords is someone trying to ignore. And the Four of Swords is someone trying to double ignore. And we can see they're starting to get a little bit pissed there. This is both Libra talking about remaining as you were, or trying to find balance, and not these are like rather make difficult compromises than to cause a fight. And this is kind of peace treaty between two fighting parties where we're still pissed off with each other, but we kind of are not in full war. So it might be silent treatment with those two cards, but peace negotiation will have to happen. There need to be like either closure or some kind of agreement or compromise. People needs to start talking here. That person talked, but here these people doesn't want to talk. So it might be Leo, that you have changed a lot, and family and friends around you, they think, oh, she's crazy, he's crazy, what he's doing, why does that need to destroy a good thing? We had like a good thing going, everyone knew their place, we were doing things, so everyone was happy. But you say, well, I wasn't happy, I didn't want this, I just did things to make you happy, and it wasn't, I didn't live my life, so I had to go and say this, or I had to go and do this. I had to sprinkle the truth over you. And here it's a lot of grumpiness, okay? So I'm not seeing the grumpiness ending anywhere soon. October, November, we're still being grumpy. We're not speaking. There's some kind of difficult obstacle here when it comes to communication. So next card is the Queen of Wands. So that's probably you. Comes underneath 8 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. So you kind of don't care, it seems. Like you will build your thing anyways. So I'm guessing that is very good. When we do like this, we leave people behind by saying, okay, this is what I want. If you are not with me, you are against me. And going on our own crusade, we seem to win at this, okay? 8 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles is a lot of values. It's very prosperous. It's having like real success, like with the 19, the Sun that we saw in the beginning, and the 10 of Cups. Here's the 10 of Pentacles. But some element is missing, and it might be people. Like you are very successful in what you are doing, but where's the people? Okay, we can see that they are here, but it feels like this is my way and the highway. It's not my way or the highway. It's my way and the highway. You are going on the highway towards what you want. And when we do this, we become very great leaders, and we might pick up people on our path that actually wants to join us. And maybe this is what's supposed to happen. Maybe you are supposed to find people that actually wants to join you instead of sabotaging your plans, your beautiful plans for the future. So let these other people, you know, the 4 of Cups, 2 of Swords, 4 of Swords, let them be grumpy. If you don't feel like very, very sad for them or empathic for them, or you really love them so much that you want them still on the train, even if they don't want to follow you there, if you can leave them behind, you seem to be on an express train to something really good, okay? Something really that you have created for yourself, obviously, by hard work, loyalty and dedication to the cause, and being very much in your self-respect and honor. So it seems good. And it's like, even if you are male, you are not letting down your feminine principles. Just because you feel something, it doesn't mean that you are like a girl, because if you feel something, that is your feminine side talking to, and the divine talking to you through your feminine side, through your intuition, through your feelings. So you know that this is right, even if it's like crazy and not logic. Maybe to end your job, to go after your dream, because this is your feminine side, your random, creative, color splashing side that wants to do something that might be out of the ordinary. And it's feminine and random and not following square lines. This is following square lines and wants like what it always have had. So it seems like you are not fitting into the role anymore that you had, but you are creating a new one. So that's a good thing. It's a freedom thing. And here we also have the Magician. So you remember what I said, 19, the Sun, 1 plus 9, 10, 10, 1 plus 0, 1, the Magician. So here we have the Magician, that's Mercury, communication. We have the 10 of Pentacles, that's a 10. And we have the Page of Swords, that's a communicator. So it's a lot of communication here about what kind of security you want, what kind of dreams you have, what kind of future you want to live in, and you're about to create it, like with or without them. So, with or without you, that's also a song. With or without you. I'm just taking note because my memory is crappy. When I'm doing this reading, I do them and everything is fine and I think I will remember, and then I put down the cards and stop the video and everything is gone. So I don't remember squat. So 5 of Cups, I'm thinking you have this feeling about this situation. You didn't want to leave these people behind. You wanted them to have the same dream as you. You had invested a lot in this work, in this family, with these friends, with this partner, and they are still like they are not moving. It's stuck here. So it might be that your road needs to split. It's like sliding doors. You might need to sacrifice something to continue on your road, but your road is a highway and it's going to a good place. Still, it seems a little bit, it might be a little bit lonely, but as I said, I'm sure you're going to pick up people on the way to where you are going that will think that this what you are doing is a good idea. And regardless, it's no stopping you now here. Because with the Queen of Wands and the Magician, like you're on a roll. Prince of Pentacles here with the Tower and the Magician is a little bit like crazy for me, this kind of combination. So it might be that they will come through some communication from this very hesitating energy. Or it might be that someone in your closeness or someone you even haven't really met yet is going through something like a cataclysm, but it will put them on the road to you. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm seeing. This is the road here. So that's even when things go horribly wrong in our lives, that's kind of the divine's way to guide us. And the Tower card is like a change of compass direction. If you're at sea, you are going here, but there's a storm ahead, so you don't go that way. You take this way instead, and then suddenly you are in the right direction, where exactly where the divine wanted you to be. So I'll read the 10 of Pentacles card for you. The 10 of Pentacles here, it came up the first thing also. It seems to be what's up for discussion here. So, Druidry and Wicca tell us we don't need to struggle to get away from the world. We can lead a full, abundant, sensual life and be of value to the world and to others, and draw nourishment from our spiritual source. Our time on earth can create a legacy for future generation, and this card in a reading may indicate you're a recipe of a legacy, or that you are creating one either for your family or for the wider community. In an everyday sense, it denotes prosperity or the recipe of lump sums or suitable conditions for making new investments. The idea of blessings is fundamental to Druidry and Wicca. Wiccan says blessed be in rituals, and Druid experienced the inspiration of Avon as the blessing of the goddess energy. Remember, I was talking about the divine feminine and the feminine energy in this. In Druidry, we sometimes consciously open ourselves to the blessings offered by our ancestors, our tribe, the spirits of time and place, our own soul, and the gods or deities. Magical works involves learning how to give blessings, how to send charges of positive energy out into the world, like with that exercise with gratitude. But it also involves opening ourselves to the blessings that flow towards us in such abundance. Life is essentially magical, and even difficult circumstances can carry hidden benefits. You remember what I told about the change of direction there. Most of us have created barriers that prevent us experience all the blessings life bestows, for example, by staying in our comfort zone. But this card gives us the chance to count our blessings and thus discover that they are too numerous to ever count. So, you're on a roll, Leo. That's a definite. But maybe you wish that more of your, tribe would have went with you on this journey. Okay. So I will check out the Sacred Rebel Oracle card for Leos in October. So what's going on for Leos in October? Okay. After the storm, with the change of direction, change of course. And it's an owl there, and it's holding, no, I just forgot the name. No, it's gone. When I close the reading, I will remember the name. It's something with cube. It's a geometric form that kind of contains all the geometric forms. Maybe they will tell it in this card. We'll see. So, there's a thunderstorm about, and it's here in the now in October. It is either headed your way or just passing through now. Don't make a thunderstorm mean more than what it is, though. You don't have to fear it. You might even feel excitement about it. After all, a thunderstorm is just nature's way of gathering energy together that needs to be released. With the release of tension, relief and freedom soon follow, often with a fresh perspective and perhaps the gift of promising hopeful visions for the future. Perhaps the particular storm building within you or around you is causing you to quake in your boots. It might be a storm of building emotions, threatening to erupt or already exploding, seemingly beyond your conscious control. You might feel an uncomfortable sense of emotional or psychological pressure within, and if something doesn't happen and soon, you fear you might just burst. You may also sense that these are forces operating beyond your control, and you would be right. There is in life, and in the creative process, a need to allow for wild storms. There will be those precious moments of peace beforehand, and the release and revelations that follows. Yet the storm in the middle is essential. It is a natural part of the creative process. Without this building and releasing of energy, we would suffer from boredom and stagnancy. You may prefer the excitement of the storm or the fresh, open feeling that accompanies its clearing. You might find it confronting to be faced with the power of something in which you can only participate rather than control. So this might be a passing energy also of something like that wants to create havoc in your life. But if you don't take it so darn personally, you're stubborn as a mule here and fiery and, determined. So you kind of don't have to care so much. Care, like this person is obviously here upset, so care, but don't take it personally, okay? It's not about you, it's just a storm. You may prefer the excitement of the storm or the fresh open feeling that accompanies its clearing. You may find it confronting to be faced with the power of something in which you can only participate rather than control. Either way, the storm wisdom offers you the gift of bringing things to a head and clearing them away so that the energy can be freed from a pattern that has had its days and is ready to become something new. Something, the pressures that fuel the storm of our lives have been building up for a long time without us being fully aware of it. It might be pressures from our own minds, creating unnecessary burdens upon us, such as burdens of fear or self-doubt. It could be pressures to appear a certain way or to fight against life out of mistaken belief that this is necessarily for survival. Sometimes the pressure is a little more than the impossible dream of perfection and a need to gently, or even with great dramatic flourish, cast that aside so that you can dare to be what you are and create from your heart. So, as I said, don't take things personally. Even if you are not sure what the storm is about, don't lose confidence in your abilities to successfully bear its progression until you are safely at the other side of the experience. Even amongst the chaos of change, in moments of anxiety, know that you have so much light and trust in your heart that you can see the storm is but a passing process and nothing that needs to worry about. If you can't sense the storm just yet, this oracle is important for you. The storm is coming, and you can, if you wish, feel the beautiful accelerating gift of it as you are empowered to cast aside what has been and receive the gift of fresh new take on things. Your confidence is to remain intact, whatever is happening or soon will happen in your life. This storm of sorts is transformational and supportive of your growth. It is going to clear away cobwebs and free you, open you to new creative energy and life. Remember, there can be no rainbows. Do you remember the rainbows in the card, the Alchemist here, and also came in the 10 of Cups in the beginning? There can't be rainbows without a little rain. This oracle is also confirmation that if you have been praying for help, your prayers have been heard, and the great creative intelligence of our universe is now responding you, stepping in and shaking things up so that the situation can be sorted out accordingly to a greater wisdom. So let go, hold only to your inner self, and allow everything to be cleansed in this sacred storm. So beautiful. Okay, my dear Leos, I'm not too worried about this storm. I only see it as a positive thing, and I think you will do too. It might only be the parting of something old, like old ideas, things that you hoped would have been in another way, and maybe the storm needs to come and clear that out, so for you to have a new start. This can be, of course, threatening if we lose something that's valuable to us and has been in our possession for a long time, like a home, a work, relationship. But I don't see you being specifically worn down by this. It seems to be like someone else's job to do the mourning this time. Okay, so it might be you being the storm, actually, Leo. Okay. So, my dear Leos, I hope this helped, and I want you to take really good care. I also want to invite you back to my November reading that I will perform in the middle of October. Okay, so until then, have the best of times. Bye-bye.